Here's the key. Are you willing to give up the fuss, to question everything? What would be the benefit to me if I let it be?
So what are some things that blocks you?
What would I be in this situation if I stopped blaming? Who would I be in this situation if I was the one that was willing to understand instead of waiting for them to understand me?
Who would you be without your dramas?
Is it okay if you just felt better than you do?
Who would you be if you didn't have issues?
Are you willing for your life to be easier?
Who would you be without complaints?
So, what would be the value then to your life to let just one thing be?
What happens to infinite energy when I believe one thought that I have issues?
What if you could not be present to God's love? What would that be like?
The minute you name it a problem, name it awful, what happens to your energy?
Who am I going to be in this situation? How am I going to be different?
How would you relate to others differently if you stop calling them a problem?
Imagine your life, what it would be like in your life if you stop seeking anything from another human being. If you stop seeking love and approval and appreciation and respect and understanding and those things outside of yourself.
In this moment now, in this interaction now, with what's in front of me now, how am I going to respond to this? And whose business is what you believe? What would dropping the concept of problem do for your energy? If you were free of the concepts of problem, issues, dramas, if you were free of complaining, what would that be like? So what if we surrender to, there's things I could change. I will absolutely change what I can. I will change everything that I can. And I accept the things I cannot change. God's way versus my way. Thy will, not my will. And then imagine living in relationship to that as reality. Reality. Sometimes I get my way, sometimes I don't. Peace is possible both ways. Peace or pain. You choose. What would be the benefit to me if I'd directed my mind only to see the holiness of this day? What if there was no place you could look and not experience God?
How much do you believe that you have infinite energy?
That there's one power and one presence in everything. What if you believed it? Imagine.
What are our options? So if there's an infinite energy, if I am one with that, if what we sing and say and pray, there's one power and one presence in all the universe and in my life, and that through my realization of that, through prayer meditation, my absolute application of that, the word becomes the deed, the word becomes the action. What are our options? What could possibly be the matter with you if your mind was intent on how is this day holy? So what are some things you can do to experience this energy, to have a new reality of this infinite energy, besides what we've always done.
In which one of those arenas can you bring about any change whatsoever?
What thought left unquestioned would bind you, would stick you into realizing this much energy instead of this much energy?
So how would I relate to this thought that I'm having if I didn't call it negative?
Who are you going to be if it doesn't go your way?
So when you don't like the outcomes, how many more years are you going to rally against it instead of looking, seeing, and telling the truth about your BS?
And then, are you willing to go through your own purification process? Are you willing to look at this BS and the consequences of holding the BS and the possibilities for you if you let it be? What if you accepted that worry and wandering was part of the terrain?
So my heartfelt prayer is that not only you hear the question that you, in the stillness that you experienced directly this morning, but the answer is a resounding yes.
So get a sense of what it would be like to actually live out, to live from the realization of God as one power and one presence. And to live in relationship to you in your own life as an eternal life, as an infinite life, not limited by this. What would that be like?